What's up, everybody? It's Amon-Rellik the God Slayer. Amon-Rellik Gaming, and we're back with another V Rising video. Today's tutorial is going to be about the blood moon. Every so often in your gameplay, at a randomized interval, I guess you could say, some people think it's every 18 days in game. But then there are also other sources that say that it's completely random. But you will see how the numbers on the time clock on the right there that shows the day and night cycle, you will see the night numbers go from being blue like they normally are to red. That will signify that the next coming moon will be a blood moon. And what a blood moon will do is it will boost the attributes of all of your blood type. So whatever buffs you have active from your blood type will be boosted by, I believe, another 20%. So if you can get a maximum of 100, you'll basically have a 50% boost, because like that last row will boost the effects of all the four above it by 30. And then with the blood moon, when you hear the wolf howl, you'll see bats fly around you real quick, and you will then begin to glow. You will get this buff. Boost the effects of your current blood type by 20% and increases your movement speed by 10%. And this blood moon will continue up until the next day. So whatever your movement speed is, you will be able to move faster. Again, any buffs that you have will be buffed by an additional 20% from your blood, from the blood, whatever blood you have. This is the time in which you want to hunt bosses. This is the time in which you want to be hunting your bosses down. You probably won't get the chance to do this every time that you hunt a boss, but when you see that the blood moon's coming, you want to be making preparations to hunt another boss. Particularly a boss you might be having problems with, or a boss that is, for instance, like on your level, where it says, you know, right here, like these three bosses are matched at my level. I'm only one level higher than them. These are the times you be wanting to take these bosses on, or even possibly bosses that are like maybe 2 or 3 levels higher. You wouldn't want to go too high, like challenging. I mean, you possibly could if you feel good about your skills, but like, you know, formidable or matched, this is the time in which you want to, especially if you solo this game. Blood Moon is the time in which you want to do it. I would say the 2 things you will want to prepare for when you see that Blood Moon is 1, picking the boss you want to go after, and then 2, hunting the map for the best possible blood you can possibly get. And the reason why is because, again, this 20% buff to your blood type becomes more and more effective the higher your blood is, the higher the blood quality is. So while right here I've only got maybe 11% chance of a critical strike on weapon attacks, and that's all I've got, maybe 11%, that'll boost it to 21%, it'll be a 31%, you know what I mean, which is fine. But if I had the full 20, I would be getting a 40% chance to critical strike. You see what I mean? So and so on and so forth with all the different buffs that you would have on your particular blood type. So the 2 things you would do when you see, for instance, let's say daylight is here. Let's say daylight was around, hypothetically speaking, and we saw that the next night is going to be a blood moon. You would want to go out during the day, and again, I've told you in previous videos of how you can kind of stick to shadows even in combat, and you would want to find a very good, decent, I would say 50 and above percentage of blood, of a blood type of your choice for your play style. Get that blood, come back home, get yourself suited up with whatever gear you're going to be using, whatever weapons and armor you're going to be using, and whatever abilities you want to use. And then when you see that the blood moon is about to happen, don't wait until the blood moon starts. Don't do that. You need to be making it to the boss during the daytime. Because what you want is you want to be able to take advantage of the full entirety of the blood moon. So if, let's say for instance, the boss where I'm at now, let's say the boss is maybe over here in Gloomrod, right? There's a boss that's right here in Gloomrod. I think it's right, not right there, I'm sorry, right here, I believe, in Gloomrod, right? Let's say, or there's a boss right here, right? There's a boss right here. What I would want to do is I would want to teleport up here if I have it, and if I don't have it, I want to be traveling my way up here during the day. I want to be doing it during the day, so that by the time I get to the boss, boom, blood moon triggers, and now I have all of this time to fight the boss. What it does is it allows you to, even if you die, let's say you happen to accidentally die or in the fight, which again, dying is okay. This is a game. Don't beat yourself up over it. Let's say you die and you have to respawn back, right? You can respawn back at the teleport, whatever closest one is, whether it be the north one or the south one, whatever. And then you can find a blood type. It might not be the blood type you want, but you can find a blood type that you can, again, take advantage of this buff and be back in the fight and hopefully beat the boss before this timer runs out, before the blood moon runs out. Because that's the idea. Like, when you get there before the blood moon, you technically have, because a lot of these boss fights don't last any more than like 5 to 10 minutes, and you got about a good maybe 10 to 12 minutes of night. So if you can get over there and knock a boss out within the 5-6 minute range, you then have the rest of the blood moon to maybe hunt another boss that might be close by. Because again, in this Gloomride area, there's a boss. There's a boss here. There's a boss here, and I think there's another boss somewhere around over here somewhere. I think there's one right here. So like, you could use it to knock out 2 bosses in one blood moon. You know, so that's going to be the main thing. Preparing for the blood moon when you see it coming, and getting to the areas that you want to farm the bosses before the blood moon hits, and then doing your best to try and get as many bosses in during the blood moon, and preferably ones that you are having problems with. You don't want to waste your time killing bosses that you know you could beat in a normal situation, you know, easily. You want to be using that blood moon to beat bosses that have been giving you problems, that you've probably been dying at, you know, that are like at your level, because this blood moon is going to put you a step above what you would normally be. And of course, guys, again, your blood types will vary on how well you feel the buffs from these blood moons. Like, certain ones like might give you movement speed. So like, you know, if you're more of a motion type character, you know, if you value your movement a lot more than like maybe your damage, you might see it a little bit better that way. But like, if you're into like spell damage or just, you know, damage over time, things of that nature, it's there that you'll probably see the biggest growth in terms of what the blood moon will do for you, because a lot of your damage over time skills, their damage ticks are pretty low, and to have that blood moon push those damage ticks into like the double digits, and like, you know, digits that you weren't used to seeing, you know, it can kind of be a more of a noticeable effect. Again, blood moons happen technically randomly, so always keep in mind as you're doing your boss runs and as you're doing your gathering and your building and your crafting and you're adventuring out in the world, always keep in mind when you see one. Like, if you're out and about, and let's say you're out scavenging for resources and it's the daytime, and you see that a blood moon's coming, you need to be beelining back to your home, getting all your stuff put away, getting your weapons and armor together, getting your blood type on the way back home, getting the blood type you want, and getting a boss tracked, and then being back out the door and heading toward that boss before the blood moon pops, And by the time if it falls the way it should, by the time you get to the boss, you should have a good maybe like minute or two to kind of set up, see what the area is. If you got to clear any enemies around the boss before you engage the boss, do that, and you should have about a good 3 to 5 minutes to do that before you then engage the boss, which at the time in which you're ready to engage the boss, blood moon should be popping. Thanks guys for watching. Amon-Rellik the God Slayer, Amon-Rellik Gaming. This is now basically the last tutorial you're gonna get based on combat in V Rising. Any other tutorials I might give out will probably be more they'll be more opinionated than just the mechanics of the game being shown to you. I'll probably be in more opinionated things like builds that I like and things that I particularly like to use. Mainly like my Necromancer build, and showing off some other types of like builds and things of that nature will probably be in the future. Of course, I'll be doing all the new boss fights that have been added to the game. I'll be posting those as well. Maybe I may do some boss tutorials if that's wanted. Just leave a link down in the comment section if you leave a comment in the comment section if you guys want me to do tutorials on certain bosses. Beyond that, the channel is slowly growing. Thanks guys for all the support. I've been seeing a lot of the comments, and I've been getting a lot of views lately, especially here in V Rising. Again, vampires are my favorite subject matter when it comes to any kind of like folklore. So I deeply love this game for that reason. So it's nice to see that I'm getting a lot of support in covering this game the way I do. Again, when it comes to the channel itself, we're waiting on Tekken 8. We're waiting on Tekken 8 because that's going to be one of the main focal points of the channel, while I still do variety on the side. I'm putting together some options in terms of gaining support for the channel. I'm working on a Patreon, and the main reason why I'm working on the Patreon is simply because I know that the YouTube partnership program, while it's something that I wouldn't mind getting into, I can understand that it can be very limiting to not only the creator themselves, but to the people who enjoy that creator specific type of content. It can be a thing where it can take away, and our blood moon is gone, but it can take away from the charm and personality of that content, depending on what YouTube demands of me in terms of being able to stay in a partnership program. So I wanted to create a way to not have to rely on something like YouTube's partnership program, but something that can allow me to eventually make this a full-time gig where I can actually dedicate time to creating. Because it's not just games that I'm into. I make music, I do rap, I make music, I do art, I draw and paint, things of that nature. I have a lot of different things that I do in terms of my creativity, and I plan on doling them out across this channel in terms of gaming, and then of course I might make a channel just for the art in general, whether it be music or my visual art. I might put those two together because it's all under the idea of art, so I'll probably put it all together. Or I could smash it all together here. You guys let me know in the comment section. But I do want to be able to eventually make the channel monetizable by option, in that sense, by giving you guys some tiers you can take a look at with the Patreon. And when I do, I'll let you guys know in a video that that when it's active, and I'll put the link in that video, and I'll try to retroactively put them on all the older videos as well, and then we'll be going from there. Again, guys, thanks so much for the support. I really dig doing this. I've been at YouTube now for almost 10 years, about like 8.5, close to 9, and you know, I've had some bumpy rides along, you know, along this road. And while, you know, I don't consider myself I guess you could say a YouTuber, I do consider myself a creative that is using YouTube as a means of expressing that creativity. And it's just nice to see that people are willing to support, whether it be through view or whether it be through your pockets. Either way, you know, just being able to support and show, you know, some love for somebody who's, you know, interested in things and interested in creating things. So thanks, guys, for watching. Amon-Rellik the God Slayer. Amon-Rellik Gaming. We out of here.